In this training, we will look at how to use Express tools. One good thing with using Celframe Office Write is the option that it gives you when you're writing a documentation. Now you need not crack your head to get a sample of letters, facts, or agendas. Also need not crack your head on how to do documentation on web page. As you can see, when you go to File, Express, and under Wizards, it gives you the option to customize your own letter, your own facts, your own agenda, your own web page, your own document converter. It also allows you to publish your document in a web format or use Celframe XML form maker document, Celframe parent document, Celframe labor maker, Celframe business cards, and Celframe templates. You can choose all these options to help you during your documentation process. Now, for example, I want to create a letter. So all I have to do is go to the Express, go to Wizards, and click on letter. And as soon as I click on letter, I'll get this template. In this template, it gives you the option to customize your letter. So the first thing you can do is choose the type of letter that you're going to do, either a business letter, or formal letter, or a personal letter. So you're going to use a business letter. Click on this checkbox if you are going to use letterhead paper with a pre-printed element, so that when you print it, it will not overlap with each other. And once you have chosen if it's a business letter, choose the page design that you want, whether you want elegant, which will look like the one in the background as you can see, or modern. When you click on modern, you can see that the layout is different. Or you can click on office, and when you click on office, you get a different layout as well. So once you have chosen the type of letter that you want to do, all you have to do is click next. It'll bring you to the printed items page, where you can use a typical letter format for the country, like whether you can choose whether English, USA, or whichever country language you want to put. You can choose whether to put the logo, to put a written in the envelope window, subject line. You can use salutation, for instance, to whom it may concern, or dear sir or madam, hello. You can even put full marks, and you can even have complimentary close, which is you can choose between sincerely, best regards, or cheers. You can put a footer if you want to. Once you've chosen all this in the printed items, you can click on next. When you click on next, you can see that you're allowed to put in the recipient and the sender's name. So you can choose use the data for written address, or you can put a new sender address. Just key in the name, street, zip code, state, city. And then you can put the recipient's address. You can choose between use placeholders for recipient's address or use address database for mail merge. Once you've done that, click on next, and it brings you to the footer page, where you can include a footer in it. And you can choose whether you want to include only on second and following pages, or include page number. And once you've chosen that and written your footer, click on next, and it will ask you to create a letter template, which enables you to create multiple letters with the same layout and settings. So once you've read that, you can put a template name. Once you put a template name, you can choose the location and file name, and then you can choose on how do you want to proceed. Either choose create a letter from this template, or make manual changes to this letter template. And once you choose between this, click on finish. Once you click on finish, it will load your document into Celframe Write. As you can see, once it has loaded into your Celframe Write, you can see the logo here. You can change your logo, put in your phone number, change the first name, last name, company name. You can change the date, put the subject, and as you have chosen the salutation, all you have to do is click here to enter your text on what you want to enter in here. And once you've done that, it's your closing end, which is simply put in your name, and your letter is done. The same thing you can do if you want to create a document for facts or agenda. All you have to do is click on agenda if you want to do an agenda. Once you have clicked on agenda, it gives you the first page design, which you can see at the back of here. You can choose the page design. You can choose the color of your layout. You can choose blue, which you've seen now here. You can choose classic. If you choose classic, you can see that the color changes. So you can choose any of the page design for your documentation. They have quite a few. They have classic, they have colorful, elegant, green, gray. Once you've chosen which you want to put into your agenda format, click next. Once you click next, you can see it asks you to insert the date, the time, the name, and the location. Once you've inserted the date, time, name, and location, click on next. It gives you an option to put headings for your agenda. For instance, you can choose whether you want to put types of meeting, or please read, or please bring, or notes. If you ticked on any of these checkboxes, it will be placed in your documentation. Once you've done that, click next. This will give you the names that you wish to include in your agenda template. For example, the meeting is called by whom, or if there's a chairperson, you want to put in the name. You want to put a minute keeper, the name of the moderator, the attendees, observers, facility personnel. You can choose which of these names that you want to include into your agenda. Once you're done, click next. It allows you to type in the agenda items, the responsibility, the duration. You can insert more if you have more than 5 values to be added in. You can move up and down. You can remove some of them which you don't want. Then once you've done keying in the agenda items, you can click on next, and you can save your template, give a name for your template, and you can save the location of your template. You can even choose what you want to do next, whether create an agenda for this template or make manual changes to this agenda template. Once you're done with creating your agenda, click on finish. As you can see, this is what we've chosen: the name, the date, the time. Once you've keyed in inside the dialog box, it will appear as it is, not as name, date or date or time, but the actual. For instance, if it's today's date, you'll put as 2008 August 20th, the time and the location, and it'll put in the type of meeting that you've keyed in earlier, and it will tell you the meeting was called by whom, who are the attendees, the topics that you've discussed, any additional information, for instance, please read something, or notes. This is one of the advantages of using Celframe Write, as it gives you the format straight away instead of you searching online on how to use or how to write an agenda or a fax or even a letter. You can also use the export to template in the Express tool that is provided to you. Once you click on export to, you can choose where you want to export your documentation to, which location, the recent or desktop or documents or my computer. And once you've chosen, it will export as a PDF format, and you have to give a file name and save your document. Express also gives you the option to put digital signatures into your documentation. You're also given the options on what you would like to do on the templates provided. For instance, organize the template, or address book source, save it, or even edit it. As you can see, Express also provides printer settings for this particular documentation, and you can also save all your documentation by clicking on Save All button. Next thing you look at is the exit. Once you click on this exit button, your whole documentation will close down.